Pokemon, Shadow What If here to bring you part 2 to What If Deku was Killer Croc. Now, we will jump to, I'm going to say, a month after Izuku is put into the asylum. Now, we start off with Class 1A. Getting off the bus in front of what appears to be a prison. Which the kids question. This is when a security, the head of security comes out and says, "Welcome, Class 1A, to the Iron Heights Asylum." Which is when Tsuyu, if you don't know Tsuyu, it's Flop, he puts a hand up saying, if this is an asylum, then why do you have security guards armed to the teeth like it's a maximum security prison? As well, the security guard says, "Well, this asylum contains criminals, which is why of the heavy duty firepower. But it's because of one in particular person we have in here. He's very dangerous as well, but he's very dangerous. And I believe he's around about the same age as all of you." As everyone's shocked that someone actually turned this asylum into a maximum security prison just by arriving here. So they get their own tour through the prison to see up on different things. Which is when Bakugo notices a door. A steel door that looks to be reinforced multiple times. As Bakugo points out saying, "Why is that door so reinforced and where does it lead to?" As the security guard said, as the head of security said, "Well, I probably shouldn't take you down there, but you're here to see everything, and you're gonna see why this asylum became so dangerous. Anyway, come on." As Ida said, that isn't safe if the inmate down there just turned this place into a maximum security prison just by arriving here. As Mr. Aizawa said, "Ida, you need to learn to lighten up a bit, as well as if you don't see the inmate that's down there, you won't be able to figure out a strategy to beat him if he does escape." As well, they walk past multiple checkpoints. As well, on the checkpoints, they see 2 MGs, or mounted machine guns. The head of security pointed out that the left side has live ammunition, while the right side has tranquilizer darts. Which is when I'm gonna say Mina asks, why does one have live ammo and why has the other one have tranquilizer darts? As then he replies with, well, the inmate that's down here isn't really all that dangerous. It's his quirk that makes him dangerous. As they are as well. Kaminari asks, how so? Well, you see. His quirk is called emergency evolution. If he takes damage that traumatizes him mentally, his body evolves to where he can take that attack again and take no damage off it. But the drawback is he goes a little more psychopathic, but right now he's a sociopath, which isn't all that dangerous, but is still pretty frightening of someone of his stature. As everyone's questioning that, as when they get to the cell, they just smell straight sewage. As the head of security says, I also forgot to mention that his cell is a part of the old sewer system for Iron Heights. As well, this is when they see Izuku sitting on a couch watching a TV. As the head of security says, yo, Killer Croc, I have some people here to see you. As Izuku just gets up off the lounge, and just as he steps closer and closer to the door, 1A just sees this beast of a person that towers over them. Well, to get a good height of how tall Izuku is, he's basically as tall as the Black Nomu. Yeah, he just towers. As Sue, scared, asked, you sure he's our age? As Aizawa says, yes, he is. As well, this is when Izuku speaks up, saying, I have a name, use it. In just a cold, calloused voice. As the security said, yeah, I know your name, but it's your nickname here, and it's easier to remember than your actual name, Croc. Just remember, I have your scent. If I'm able to escape out of here, I'm coming to bite your head off. The security guard, as he chuckled a bit, saying, yeah, if. As this is when he turns to 1A, saying, I have all your scents too, but something I smell is but one of your scents is almost identical to my therapist. As they all started shitting themselves. As this is when the head of security says, "Come on, Croc, stop scaring the newbies." As this is when Izuku punches the wall that the head of security was leaning against. It scared him, and when they turned to look at the wall, they could see a straight crack on it. As this is when the security guard says, as he pulled out his walkie-talkie and says, "Can I get a repair team down to Croc's cell?" He cracked the wall again. As Isaiah asked again, as the head of security just gestured to the wall Aizawa in Class 1A was next. That was on the other side of the door. It's been reinforced with steel and everything. As this is when the head of security said, "Okay, Croc, in the water." As Izuku says, "Come on, I won't attack him." As the head of security pulled out a small button saying, I'm not gonna act nicely again. So please hop in the water." As well, Izuku says, "I promise I won't attack the repair team this time." And so the head of security just presses the button, and which is when Class 1A and Aizawa notice a small shock collar around Izuku's neck. It gave him a small electroshock, enough to get him in the water. But this is when he pressed the button and doors close upon the water, which is then Aizawa asks, is that to control him?" The head of security says, "Nah, he's been pretty good here." Well, when I say pretty good, the first time the repair team had to come down here, he well ate them. As I asked, why? As well, you see, we tried feeding him what his mum cooked for him and brought in, but he ate it, but that never really seemed to satisfy him until we found out from a croc doctor that came down to have a look at him that due to his evolution, he eats like a crocodile. He eats tons of meat now. As Class 1A is just shocked at he not only looks like a crocodile, he also eats like one as well. Which is when Tsuyu asks, if he eats like a crocodile, how come he's so fit? As the head of security clicked the button and in the screen that was behind them turned on, and they could see Izuku in the old sewers just punching a wall over and over, exercising, just general workout stuff. As they're just amazed that even though his quirk can as the security guard said, well, he doesn't need to work out, as they staring at the screen as I asked, how come? Well, apart from his regeneration factor from his quirk and, buffing his durability, his stamina and strength also doubles every time he evolves. Which just shocked 1A, as they see that he's choosing to stay in shape even though he doesn't need to. As they just watched him work out over and over. As well, by this time the repair team would have been down and repaired his cell. Which is when the head of security looked at the time, saying, well, I have a lot of paperwork to do and not that much time to do it, so I'm gonna leave you now. This is when Aizawa looked at his watch and said, well, class, we have a few hours left of this little excursion, so feel free to look around, talk to the therapist, and find out what you can, because getting in the mind of a villain can help you in the long run. As they all say, okay. As all of Class 1A walks off, except for Tsuyu. As Mina notices and says, Tsuyu, are you coming? As Tsuyu says, no thanks, I'm gonna talk to Croc when he comes back. He seems interesting. As Mina says, okay, just keep an eye on the time. As Tsuyu said, okay. As the cage from the water would have been lifted, and well, Izuku would have came up, noticed Tsuyu standing by his cell door, and asks, where's your class? And why are you still here? And Tsuyu says, well, we've been given permission to wander around, talk to the other doctors, and you seem like the most stable inmate that I've seen so far to actually talk to. So yeah. Izuku says, so it's your scent that's almost identical to my therapist. Tsuyu says, oh yeah, I forgot my mum's a therapist, but she's your therapist? As Izuku says, yeah. You Miss Asui. And you have a mutation quirk, by the looks of it. Asui is surprised that Izuku can tell that she has a mutation quirk, as she asks, How do you know? Just the way you posture yourself in some ways. I've learned to notice the little things while I've been in here. As Izuku just sits down back against the wall just next to his cell door talking to Tsuyu, giving a few increments, talking about their lies. And well, this is when Mina comes back to Tsuyu saying, "Okay, Tsuyu, time to leave." As Tsuyu gets up saying, "Okay, Mina, I'll be there in a sec." As she turns around to Izuku saying, "Bye, Izuku. I'll make sure to come visit you whenever I can." Izuku says, Okay, Sue, I'll see you then." As Mina says, no, as Sue and Mina are walking back to the bus, Mina notices Sue's very little blush as Mina says, "So you found yourself a boyfriend in that guy, huh?" As Sue's blush gets brighter as she says, "What? No, we're just friends, Mina." As Mina says, "Not by the way you're blushing, it isn't." As Sue sits up, says, "Fine. Okay, maybe I like him, but okay, maybe I like him, but he's just so cold." And Sue looks at Mina saying, "Yeah." As well, Mr. Aizawa would have looked over Izuku's file while he was in Iron Heights, and he would have taken a copy of the file back to Nezu, and Nezu would have looked at it. No. Okay, let me rephrase that. Yeah, Aizawa would have looked at Izuku's file and made a copy of it before he ordered the class back on the bus. Now, he took the copy of Deku's files to Nezu. As Nezu looked at it and said, Aizawa, by bringing me this file, you see that this boy has the potential to become a hero if he can control his little temper and his sociopathy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, Nezu. As Nezu just says, well, with the right guidance, he could become a great hero. Aizawa, tell me, who is Izuku's therapist? It turns out to be Miss Asui, the mother of Sue. As this he says, I may have to talk to her. And Nezu gets a hold of Miss Asui. They talk in person. As Nezu, as after talking about Izuku, how far he's come in his therapy lessons. This is when Nezu asks, if you can keep weekly therapist sessions with him, could you help me get him out of? Could you help me get him out of Einheit and into UA? As Miss Asui looked at Nezu like what? As he simply explains, well, it says in his file that he's always wanted to be a hero. So, I see that with the right guidance and your weekly therapy sessions, he could become a fantastic hero. As Miss Asui looked it over for us, thought it over for a second and said, yes, Nezu, I will help you get him into UA and out of that horrible place. As this is where I'm going to leave it off. Remember to comment, like, and or subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, and peace.